related to columns, files, tables, things like that. So it helps us to identify sensitivity or the type of the business data, importance of the business data. Okay, so this is all about identifying your asset properly. So we have something called sensitivity label as well. So even sensitivity label can be added. It's also another type of tag. Okay, but remember these two are two different things. Now, when it's come to classification, it's all about tagging, okay, a component or a name for identifying it. But sensitivity label, it's all about protecting it. You're trying to have a sort of a visual marking, and then it can be used for protecting, right? Classification basically used for governance, discovery, filtering, and all. But sensitivity label, remember, it is for protection and access control. So let's talk about sensitivity label later. Remember, these are the classification available. Classification. So you can see, so you can actually go to data map and then click on classification. You can see them. Let's quickly open it and see. Types of classification. You have two types: system classification, somewhere around 200 plus system classification. Custom classification, you can create your own custom classification. Okay, so there are two types of custom classification you can create. One is based on regular expression, something like this. Okay, second one is based on dictionary based classification. You are going to do a lab, if I'm not mistaken, regular based classification, but I'm going to do a demo, not today. I'll do a demo tomorrow, showing that, how do you really use existing classification or create and create custom classification, and how to create regular expression based classification and dictionary based classification as well. I'll be showing all these things. Okay. Just remember, when it's come to regular expression, we call as regex. Okay. Classification types. Okay. It is for identifying things like, let's say, phone number, email address, bank account, passport number. Okay. That's for regular expression one. Dictionary based classification is all about you have a list of items, and then if you're going to see that value in the, let's say you have a column called column 1, and then column 1 contains values that are available in your list, which is your dictionary. Okay, then you classify it as whatever the classification name. So it can actually perform exact matching or fuzzy text matching as well when it's come to dictionary based classification. Okay, so it's sort of rich. Okay, right. So remember, when it's come to classification in scan, you need to have level 3 scan for scene classification. Otherwise, it doesn't know. Okay. System classification supported in, okay, it says regular expression, Bloom filter, machine learning models and all. So these are the things we see. What is Bloom filter? It's a sort of a probability based type of classification. So if you have worked with machine learning classification model, then you are familiar with, like, true positive, false positives, true negatives and all. So this is based on false positives and not false negatives. Okay, but don't worry about those things. This basically helps us to identify common things like cities, countries, drug names and all. Okay, and then we have machine learning based ones that detects names, address, gender, and regular expressions one like passport number, bank account number and all. So these are default system classification. If you want, you can create a custom classification. Okay, and custom classification rules can be created. If time permits, I'll do this, or else I'll be doing it tomorrow, because I have only 15 minutes. But don't worry, I'll be showing the way of creating classifications tomorrow. Okay. Let me quickly take you through sensitivity labels. Okay, but just go here and then let's have a look on classification. Go to data map, source management. Where are my classification? See, this is what we see as classification, right? For example, this is Canada passport number. Okay, and classification rules. Now I don't have anything. I'll show you the way of creating it anyway. Click on new, give a name, description. Then I have to pick my classification. So first thing is, like, if you really want to, now you can pick a one like this, but that's not the best way. You go to classification and create your own classification. For example, I can say my classification 01. Okay, I can create a one classification like this. Let me refresh. There's the one I created. Okay, it might take some time. Oh, sorry, you have to go to custom, right? This is what I just created. Okay, my classification one. It's just a name. Then I can go to classification rules and then click on new, give a name and select my classification 01, pick regular expressions or dictionary. So if I pick regular expression, give a name, my classification 01 rule. Okay. I selected this one, state enable, right? Regular expression, click on continue. I can add the data pattern here. If I know how to create the regular expression, I can add it, or else I can get a regular expressions automatically generated based on some sample values. Okay, so I can do this here, I can use that text manual written, or else I can edit. Okay, column pattern is for naming pattern. If you want, you can edit. So that's all. Once it is done, you have the rule. So when you perform the scan, you have to pick this new classification rule. Okay, you have to use something called rule set. You can see scan rule sets. You have to create a new scan rule set, adding new classification rule you created. Okay, let's see more on that tomorrow. I'm going to take you through these slides quickly. Sensitivity label in Microsoft Purview data. Remember, we have a detailed discussion on sensitivity label when it comes to module 4 or the day 4 content. But just for now, right, it talks about another type of tagging that can be added to your assets. Okay, so sensitivity label must be defined with your unified catalog, and then you can push them into your data sources. Like for example, if you use something like fabric, you can push this sensitivity label to the fabric. Okay, so this is basically created under unified catalog section. There's one called Purview information protection. So you create sensitive label under Purview information protection, right? But again, you need to have M3. Okay, so once you have, you can let's say you created a label, then you register asset and you scan it, and then you will see your classifications added, and then you can get your labels applied as well. Okay, so currently supported data types of sensitive labels in Microsoft Purview. So you can have these sensitive label push back to the source. If the source is blob storage, data lane, Azure files, and Azure SQL database. Okay, right? So let's see some of these things, a quick demo on that. Right, labeling for SQL database columns. Remember, SQL Server itself supports creating labels, but it is not compatible with Purview. If you have created some labels in Microsoft SQL Server using Management Studio, you are not going to see those sensitive labels in Purview. Not compatible. Okay, remember that. All right, last question. Let's quickly go through that question. Where is it? Okay, see whether you can answer this question. So it says, what is the key benefits of applying sensitive labels in Microsoft Purview data map? I think it's really easy. So it says it encrypts. No, it doesn't. It removes sensitive data from, no. It helps to classify and protect data across services. It restricts access to M365. I'll give you 10 seconds for answering it. Okay, let's see. Yeah, everyone has given the correct answer. It helps to classify and protect data across services. All right, so we have completed the first module, right? I'm going to take you through a few slides and then I'll explain how you can start with labs. Once that part is done, we're going to end this session and then I'm going to start the next session. I hope everyone knows that we have two different sessions, one for theory, one for labs. Okay, right. See, certification prep on certificate preparation on demand at Level Up. We have another slide that explains skill up with levelup.com site. But this talk about certification preparation courses available for you. You don't need to pay, it's completely free. Okay. See, it says start your Microsoft certification journey at your own space from this date, and first 500 learners to finish, right? You get an exam, you get an exam voucher as well. I'm not too sure whether this number has been reached or not, okay? But just scan this QR code and then you'll be seeing this site with multiple courses with exam numbers like this, okay? And you can register and then go through these courses. So if you are a part of this 500 learners, you need to complete it first, okay? It's not just registering. You complete the course and then you are qualified for free exam voucher. Okay, so this is another one.